Welcome to another lesson in supervising food safety. Today's lesson is vital as you will learn about the causes of food poisoning, a crucial aspect of food safety. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. As you learned before, most foodborne illnesses are caused by microorganisms. Bacteria, viruses, molds and yeasts, which cause illness or introduce toxins to the food. Let's start with bacteria. These are microscopic single-celled organisms which have a simpler cell structure than most larger life forms, and their cell has no nucleus or organelles, the equivalents of organs. They vary in size, shape and design, but maintain a solid shape using a rigid cell wall. The presence of pathogenic microorganisms does not cause disease in itself. You begin to show symptoms of an illness because your cells have been damaged by pathogenic activities. The severity of infection depends on your immune system and general health. In fact, many symptoms are due to your immune system's actions, fighting the pathogens such as fever, rashes, etc. Not all bacteria directly cause food poisoning, some are harmless, except they produce substances toxic to humans during their metabolic processes. The presence of these toxins in your body causes the illness. There are two significant types of foodborne bacterial toxin: exotoxins, secreted by the bacteria into the body. Endotoxins, remains partly in the bacterium's cell which is released when the immune system kills it. Some forms of Staphylococcus exude proteins called SETs, which are poisonous when in the human digestive system, and are the third most common cause of food poisoning, after Salmonella and Campylobacter. SETs can be found in cooked pasta, meat and fish products, dairy, salads and pastries. Toxins are also produced by Escherichia coli, E. coli. Sources for this include raw meat, unpasteurized dairy products and water contaminated by human feces. But that's not all. Bacteria resist being killed by extreme heat and cold by forming spores, more correctly endospores, tough, dormant germination bodies, that make food processing ineffective unless performed correctly. These spores can easily survive heat, cold, salt or the lack or presence of oxygen. So how do we destroy bacteria? Well, bacteria can be controlled or killed by utilizing the 4Cs. Cleaning. A rigorous cleaning regime must be adhered to, including personal hygiene. Cooking. Thorough cooking should kill almost all bacteria in food. Chilling. The lower the temperature, the less likely bacteria will grow or survive. This is why the law specifies precise temperatures for cooling and cooking food. Cross-contamination. Keep raw foods separate from cooked. Bacteria that cause foodborne illnesses can be kept to an absolute minimum by following 4 simple procedures. Number 1. Keep raw meat covered and store it at the bottom of the fridge to prevent juices dripping onto prepared food. Number 2. Don't wash raw meat or poultry, splashing spreads bacteria, and the cooking process will destroy them anyway. Number 3. Thoroughly wash dirty utensils and equipment, as well as your hands. Number 4. Cook all food thoroughly. In meat and poultry, ensure it's steaming hot all the way through by cutting into it, or using a meat thermometer. Next up, molds. Molds are tiny fungi that grow in the form of filaments. This is why moldy food sometimes has a furry appearance. The spread of mold often results in food discoloration and disintegration as they spread and grow. However, the colors make most molds easy to spot on food. Molds can cause pathogenic illness, an allergic reaction or poisoning by the release of mycotoxins into food. Some can even cause death. Mycotoxins can be particularly prevalent in stored foods such as wheat and cereals. However, some toxins can ultimately be beneficial to humans, such as penicillin. Another sort of microorganisms is yeasts. Yeasts are single-celled microscopic fungi which need a particular environment to grow, And this involves being in the presence of carbohydrates within acidic foods with a pH of less than 5. Many foods are able to offer this environment and become rotten, in other words, spoiled. Not only are yeasts obvious when they grow on the surface of food, but they can also form in drinks such as juice and produce discoloration and toxins. As for viruses, these are infectious and are only able to multiply by replicating inside the cells of organisms that are genuinely alive after stealing parts of the cell. Those nasty instigators of norovirus and rotavirus are good examples of persistent illness sources. They are transmitted from feces directly to the stomach. And, if you're wondering how feces get into food, it can be in the soil vegetables grow in, on the fingers and clothes of food handlers, or suspended in the water used for washing the food. Another type of organism that can cause foodborne illness is a parasite, the word that describes something that derives food and protection from other living organisms, while not giving anything advantageous in return. Parasite infestations in Western countries are uncommon these days, but the kinds that can occur and transmit foodborne disease include amoebas and other protozoa, roundworms and tapeworms. Protozoan infestation can be painful and may cause dangerous symptoms such as diarrhea and dehydration. That's all for microorganisms. Later in the course, you will learn how to prevent microorganisms from making food harmful and your responsibilities under the law. Always keep these in mind and realize why food safety is so important. See you in the next module.